Welcome, Danielle. Good morning or good afternoon. You're in New York, right? Are you back in the city?
I'm back in the city. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. Good
Uh,
morning.
Good morning for me. You look incredible. Before I start, I feel like we have to do a quick outfit rundown because I just have to know what you're wearing.
So I'm wearing ours from Revolve, which is such a cute bodysuit. Like, how sexy is it?
It's very sexy, and it's perfect with a blazer because it's like it just shows enough.
Yeah, exactly. And then the denim blazer, which you guys sell, is my brand, Shop We Wear What.
And what are your jeans?
These are
Just in
like
case.
old redone jeans.
Perfect. Well, it all looks great. Thanks so much for hopping on with me this morning. I really, really appreciate it. I know you're like the busiest woman. And so I appreciate your time. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So much is happening. I mean, like literally with everything around us and the world. But I just wanted to like get into all the projects and companies and startups and brands that you've started like I swear, like the last 3 years. Like it's just been so much.
We've been on this like go, go, go ever since, I guess it has been the past 3 years, ever since I really took my brand in-house and it was no longer a collaboration. So I had done so many design collaborations over the years and I really learned a lot from them, good and bad. And so just from when I finally found the right business partner to actually make my products come to life, I was like, let's hold on to that. So ever since I started Shop We Wore What and brought in my line of overalls and swim under one umbrella, things have really picked up. And then the introduction of Danielle Bernstein, MOE Assist, WeWoreWhat, this is not a fashion story. What am I missing? Like there's
I feel like there's a lot to unpack just like right there. Well, so you mentioned it like right now that like, having partners or doing collaborations taught you, good and bad lessons. What were some of those that, you learned that you took with you as you started to branch out and really start your own brands on your own?
yeah. Business wise, I would say like the importance of like an airtight contract. I mean, having
Interesting.
full creative control has been so important to me. So like people I don't really think understand how involved I am with my designs. Like every little detail from the stitching to the size of the shoulder pad to the actual fabrication to the button to the placement to the gusset, which is like the crotch area, to the rise. But every little detail I have my stamp of approval on essentially. So not only do I like conceptualize the ideas with my team, but I also am like so highly involved and nothing can go into production without literally my signature. So that's
Right.
been all part of past experiences where I maybe didn't see the final product before it went into production and I wasn't able to have contractually full control over that. So
Interesting.
that's been a big learning experience for me. And then from a less business point, more personal, I think that over the years, I mean, there's a whole subject around body image and photoshopping right now that I think is just really important for us to talk about. I
Sure.
I have been I have failed when it comes to that. I have been so terrible when it came to not only my own relationship with my body, but the way that I thought I needed to make myself look for the clothes to look good. And
Right.
I don't know where those insecurities necessarily started from, and I could get very emotional talking about this topic, but
Well, listen, I also feel like, sorry to interrupt, but I think that people forget too that one, you've been in this business, in this game for a decade. And so when you started, I remember when I met you, you weren't even, maybe you were 21, but it was dicey when we met because you were just a different person. And I think like if you ask any 20 or 21-year-old, and as you grow in front of, millions of people, you have such a massive following. I can't even imagine what that does to you and like your perception of yourself.
yeah, I present myself in this really confident, secure way, but over the years, like I struggled with so many insecurities that I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just like slim my waist here or like, bring in my thigh here. And I never really thought about the platform I had and how that could potentially affect the women that followed me and that I was contributing to the society of this like unobtainable image that is just not real. And like, I'm a real girl. I have curves. I have this, I have that, whatever. So over the past few months, I've really opened up about that with my followers and have literally said, like, I'm going to stop face tuning my photos. Like here, I just posted new bikini photos today. I've started using this hashtag unedited but filtered because, you know, I still want them to be aesthetically pleasing, and
Of
I still
course.
lighting, and I use different filters so I could get the vibe I want. But like, I too am learning how to embrace myself and my body. And I'm just bringing all of those people along on that journey. So
Good
it's
for
like,
you.
I'm just a normal person. You just get to see every single day what's happening.
Yeah, and I think, that's one of the things that I would really love for people to come away after talking to you is that you are a normal person with feelings, and that, there's obviously missteps in everyone's life. But I think what you're doing, especially with, talking about your body image and how you have that relationship and sharing that with all of us, it's so courageous. So thank you so much for even bringing it up. I didn't want to, I wanted to be cautious of certain things.
Real quick.
No, I don't. I'm like, guys, we're not even 5 minutes into the pod, but thank you. I appreciate it. And I think so many women will really thank you for just opening up with your personal story and struggles. And all of us, I mean, myself included, where I'm like, oh my God, am I like not skinny enough today? Like, it's like I get so crazy and I'm like, wait a second, like ease up. You're gonna be fine. But I myself get into that zone of like trying to be like the most perfect version, and it's difficult.
You know, we've grown up where that was sort of the normal. It's like pick the best photo with the best lighting and then change this and that to create this ideal perfect image that is not perfect anymore, because people want to see raw and real and authentic, and they want to see bad days, and they want to see when you're emotional, and they want to see when you have anxiety, and people just want to relate to the people they follow on social media so much more. And so I consciously am always trying to do that, especially now. And, there's going to be criticism no matter what. When you are the size of the following that I have, even smaller, no matter what, if you have a lot of people following you, you will have a lot of people that don't agree with what you're saying. You will have a lot of people that don't like you, quite frankly. And I try to remember when I talk to my followers, I'm not talking to those people. I'm not talking to the haters. I'm talking to the people that are here on my platform because they support me, they love my work, and they want to genuinely hear from me. They're not here to hate on me.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way of thinking about it. I mean, without getting into too much detail, because I don't want this podcast and what people hear to be about, any negative things that's happening. But obviously there has been, some things happening around you. I just, as your friend, like, I really just want to know, like, how are you? How have you been dealing with this? Because seeing from afar, and I've texted you to just like check in with you, like, hey, like literally, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
But how have you been dealing with this? And like, how are you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get emotional talking about this because it's just been really hard to see over the past few months how like the narrative about me and my business and my career has sort of really changed for like negative. Because, when the pandemic started, I really just like went balls to the wall, like, how many people can I help and how can I help them? And like, that's when
Yes.
I started WeGaveWhat and like started doing all this incredible charitable work.
I
And
remember even you DMing me and Gil to be like, guys, Revolve, how can you guys get involved? Do you want to partner up with We Gave What? Do you want to partner with We Gave What? Can you guys donate masks? Like, what can you do?
yeah,
So I totally will vouch for that, and know that you have, from the start of the
yeah,
pandemic, been like, I have to launch something.
yeah. And then, in the world that we live in and the way social media is today, you do one thing that people perceive as wrong and you are quote unquote canceled. And so the second this false story started being spread about me, I was, in the eyes of many people who weren't my supporters to begin with, canceled. And so this like negative narrative of me being somebody that I'm absolutely not started getting spread wider and wider and bigger and bigger. And now it's been really hard to reverse that. But all I can do is keep showing my true self and keep being authentic and vulnerable with my followers, and hope that the people that follow me and have known me for so many years give that opportunity to know a different side of things, because people are presented something on social media right now, and that's what they choose to believe. And there's not really much research that goes into it. They're not looking at the other side of the story. It's this very like mob mentality, cancel culture of like, ooh, a new person to hate. She did this, let's go after her. Rather than being like, well, did she do it? What is the other side of the story? Like, I have already provided proof and receipts of everything that I've been accused of. So it's like, for me, I have to be a bigger person, and I can't defend myself on a day-to-day basis for things that I didn't do. And I just have to move forward with my life and hope that eventually people will move forward with me. So it's been, you ask how I am, like, it's been some of the hardest months of my life. Just feeling like I've been just publicly like destroyed. So it sucks, but I have a really strong business. My sales are stronger than ever. So I have to focus on the good things, and I deal with my emotional stuff and my mental stress in other ways. I have great people that support me. I have a life coach. I have an amazing boyfriend, and those are the people I really lean on for emotional support right now.
And that's essential. I think, having people around you that not only that you can really talk to, but really will listen to you and have your back no matter what, will help you get through these tough times. And I really believe that you will. You have so many people who admire you. We love your brand. We obviously saw that on Revolve. It sells amazing. I've always been a huge fan of WeWoreWhat swim. And so I have absolute faith in you that you're going to get through this. And I think this is a small wrinkle in your life. I've had many. And I think, being able to share your true self, which I think you are doing, is just the best way to go about this. And whoever's going to be down with you is going to be down with you. And who's not is like, they're not,
You can't go through life with everybody liking you, especially as you get more well-known, or your business grows. There's always going to be more people that also don't like you. And so I just have to remember to always speak to the people that do support me.
Absolutely. Oh man. Well, that's a lot. I'm sending you love from all the way from LA. I can't wait to see you in person and give you a hug. Because personally, I don't believe in cancel culture whatsoever. Revolve has been in that place, a few of our other brands, a few of our designers, myself. And, days get really dark, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, focus on the good. And you just got to like pick yourself back up, as cheesy as that sounds.
It's so true. And we've worked together and have known each other for over 8 years. And so you guys are like family to me. So, you don't just stop supporting family. And, when Revolve goes through something, when I go through something, we're there for each other. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, especially in the fashion industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, because fashion gets so tough. Okay, thank you for sharing so much. I do want to get back to all your business ventures, because it's really impressive what you've, again, been able to launch the last couple of years. So I'm really going to let you take, whichever way, because there's so many, again, companies, MOE Assist, Shop WeWoreWhat, Danielle Bernstein, your best-selling book. So take it away. What has been the most challenging of all the ventures that you've gone into the last couple of years?
Definitely MOE Assist. So, like, quick for those that don't know, MOE Assist is the tech platform that my team built. That's basically a project management system for influencers. It's the office tool we always needed, and it's inspired by Mo, who has worked with me, for the past 7 years. And we basically put her job as the perfect organizer of my life and my business into a platform. So everything from managing your collaborations to invoicing, and it's all done through the platform. And building a tech company is so freaking difficult and not easy. And I went through a tech incubator program called the Startup Leadership Program, where I basically learned all about financing and development, and even marketing and PR stuff, very different for a tech company than it is for fashion. So I've learned a lot through this process and am still learning a lot. And I think one of the most important things I learned is how nimble and flexible you need to be, especially when building a tech product. But really with any business, you need to be able to pivot quickly. And that's really important even when you're building a brand, even when you're an influencer, like figure out what works and why it works and focus on that. And if it's not what you originally set out to do, that's okay. The next thing that was most difficult was writing my book. I think that there's lots of preconceived notions about me, my upbringing, how I started my businesses, my past relationships. And I just wanted to put it all out there and share in the most personal way I possibly could, which was telling my story in a book. And so that was the biggest therapy session of my life, basically.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, I was forced to revisit so much of my past, not only with my parents getting divorced, but with ex relationships and like things that happened in business, like all these ups and downs in my life that got me to where I am today. And so writing and releasing the book was like probably like the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. But I'm so thankful that it became a New York Times bestseller and that people are enjoying it. Some people aren't enjoying it, but
I mean, I read it. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending me the copy. Shout out to Mo, who did send it to me. I felt like I was reading a younger version of Sex in the City, to be honest. But like obviously like different because you actually really had to work. I was talking to Lindsay Peoples-Wagner and I was like a couple of pods ago and I was like, I don't understand how Carrie ever bought all those Fendi baguette bags.
Like as a columnist, did you get paid that much?
Yeah. But you know, I guess from those two experiences, you know, starting a tech company, writing the book, what have you, I guess, like taken away from that you feel like is going to be hugely beneficial to the other brands that you're building since it was so challenging?
I think that from a customer and followers perspective, people just know me better and they get me and they get where I've come from and how I wasn't always in fashion or wanted to be in fashion. Like this wasn't something that was necessarily like my dream career. It was something I very much fell into. And so a lot of the explaining of why I am the way I am, I think is really helpful for my customers and followers to just relate to me on a different level. And you know, putting it all out there really is so important. Creating this sort of like community behind your business, your brands, like that's what it's all about. People don't want to feel like they don't know about the person or brand they're buying from. They really want to feel like they have all the information, especially now, especially where customers are way more specific about where they're spending their dollars. And they want to know that it's going somewhere good, which is why when the pandemic started, I didn't feel comfortable about releasing any product without also giving back. Because if I was going to release these beautiful swimsuits or this new denim, I wanted to make sure that all of the sales still contributed towards something greater than just my company. And so the first sale that we did, we were able to donate 20,000 plus masks to help Mask a Hero. The second sale, we were able to donate like over $50,000 to the Food Bank of New York and then several $1,000s more to the River Fund. And we were able to deliver close to 5,000 meals to healthcare workers with the next launch. And really with every launch, I picked a new organization that really deserved it to partner with to donate 1% of our sales so that we could help someone else. And so WeWoreWhat also was an extension of that and was something that really just became some of the most fulfilling work of my career.
I mean, I'm sure. And seeing it come to life, you know, from just a couple of, you know, the first few weeks of the pandemic to what you've done now is really impressive. So congratulations. Don't let anybody else or anyone for that matter, take that away from you. So do you plan on, you know, continuing to, you know, be in the charity or having the charity component to all of your projects, or how do you foresee WeWoreWhat growing?
Yeah, so whenever possible, there will always be a give back initiative attached to a sale. So when my new swim launches, there will be something there. When my activewear launched, we gave back to an organization that helps transgender women. So that will definitely remain a part of my personal brand. And then for WeWoreWhat, kind of see ourselves as the middleman between a larger community and the existing organizations and small businesses that just need a way to amplify their voices. And so we give them that exposure, and we create these unique and fun partnerships for them where they can reach a new audience and a larger audience. And so not only am I personally promoting them, but, you know, we have this really amazing like pop-up retail concepts coming up where WeWoreWhat will never take any dollars. Like we are not raising money. We don't take money. We are literally just donating our time. I and my team are donating our time so that we can create a bigger platform for these small businesses and organizations that just simply don't have that. And so we just want to help as many people as we can, because I feel very fortunate after 10 years of doing this, that I have the capabilities to make that happen for other people.
Absolutely.
And so the more people, the better that I can help.
Absolutely. So how are you like, I mean, maybe you can do a team breakdown or how are you like able to, you know, launched a book, write a book, you know, the tech platform, even enrolling in a program to really learn. And then obviously you have this, you know, WeWoreWhat as well as Danielle Bernstein. What's your team structure like, and how are you able to even like do all this? PS, you're also posting like a crap ton of content continuously. So like how, like,
That's so funny because like one post a day is a success for me now. And I used to do like 3 to 5.
oh, okay. Well, I just feel like even on your stories, you're very active still. So how is that like for an influencer that might, you know, not have such a massive following like yours? Like, how is your team structured, and how are you balancing all this?
Yeah. So there's actually, I saw in the email, there's a question that says, what is your superpower?
Yeah,
And
we're gonna get to that at the end,
well,
but yes.
it goes with this. So I want to answer it early because one of my superpowers would be efficiency and the other one would be my team. And so I think that in my internal team is Mo, Kim, and Claudia. They're my everyday, my girls. Then I have my Shop WeWoreWhat team, which crosses over with Onya, who's my business partner. And we have technical designers, production people, print designers, like fit models, this, that. We have a huge team over there. Then I have a MOE Assist team, which is my co-founder and CEO. We have our tech people, we have our customer service people, we have our like UI UX designer. Then I have my DB team, which is a whole other production team with Macy's and all of their people. Then I have Jen, who you know is my
Yes.
powerhouse agent, who we call her Mama Jen. She kind of helps oversee the whole thing. And then I have like freelancers basically that I've worked with over the years. So like Alex is one of the girls that helped me start WeWoreWhat. We have like different like kind of like people that are volunteering to help us with WeWoreWhat, and videographers and photographers that have just become more like family that I work with on a day-to-day basis or project basis. You know, I have my hair and makeup stylist that is involved in the photo shoot. And I've just sort of created people around me that not only want to work as hard as I do, but like that I can trust, that really get my vision, that would be loyal. I think that's loyalty is super hard to come by these days. And they help make all of it possible. I could never do this alone, ever.
That's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing that you have, you know, your core that really help, you know, I guess the extensions of your business again with the Anya, et cetera, et cetera. How do you choose which project gets the most love? Or like, you know, just because there's so much going on all the time, like I struggle with that at Revolve of like, oh my gosh, like there's just so much and everything always feels so important. Like, how do you figure out
Well,
where?
they are all equally as important. We have a very strict calendar. Like Mo will even schedule when it's time for me to do my hair and makeup because that's how crazy it is. It's like DB, take a shower, blow your hair. It's like in my calendar because
That's
we are so
insane.
back to back to back to back. And then it's like, you know, I still prioritize my self-care. So like when my chiropractor comes over or when I need to like get my nails done or something. So everything is scheduled, which is really important because I'm not, so shockingly, I don't know if it's shocking, I'm not an organized person at all. So
I'm
I need
not
to follow.
either.
So you and me, but I need, which is A, Mo, B, a calendar. So like,
Yeah, totally.
I literally just follow a calendar, and I also work really hard and I work a lot. So I'll work on the weekends. I work at night. Like I have like I'm like an Energizer bunny. Like
When do you stop?
I'm sometimes on the weekends, and like sometimes my boyfriend and I are going out to dinner, but like other than that, we'll go out to dinner and I'll come back and I'll like do a few things for work. I don't know. I love working, and
but you love it so much.
when you love what you do, it's easy to work hard.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I'm the same, but when you have Danielle, wait until you have babies.
I don't know. I mean, I know this is like a thing. Everyone's like, all these moms at home are super moms, but you literally are. You are like a boss ass babe that's also a mother and taking care of beautiful Dylan on a day-to-day basis. And like,
Thank you.
I couldn't even imagine having a kid right now. I want one so badly, but like I borrow my neighbor and then like give her back.
It's a whole other game, but I think as long as you have Mo, and I think you will, and as well as like, you're gonna love what you're doing. So, either way, baby or not, I think all of that will continue to happen, and you'll figure it out. Like I don't even know how I'm figuring it out. So before we wrap up with our, the three questions I always ask all my guests, what is your what's next, and what are you really trying to do with this incredible, massive business that you've built, multiple businesses?
Yeah.
What's next, and like, what is kind of like your end goal for all of this?
So what's in like the near future is just like more brand launches,
More brand launches?
No, I mean more categories. Yeah,
Okay,
kind
I
of.
was like, okay, category. I was like, you're launching another company. I can't. Okay.
No,
Going.
not another company like that, but like adding more categories to my existing brand, right? I just released activewear. I have another category coming out soon, and then like smaller, like giftable items that I think people like, a phone case, like that kind of stuff. But really focusing on building my brands and building them to a point where they can almost exist without me being at the forefront of them. So I think Chiara Ferrani just recently, like there was an article about how her brand will have longevity. And that's really my focus too, is to create this longevity that doesn't necessarily rely on me posting about it every day, because it builds a strong enough follower and customer base where it can exist on its own, where people really learn to trust and love the products that we're putting out there. So that, and then really building MOE Assist to potentially be acquired one day. Maybe more companies. Maybe another book. I don't know.
Those are amazing goals. And I think like you saying it out loud, obviously will most likely, knowing you, come to fruition.
We'll
And
see.
I actually want to ask, just like, again, before we wrap this all up, do you like, I'm not like a vision board person. Like I physically don't do a vision board, but do you?
No. It's
Me
like,
either. It's just in my head. Same. I'm like, as Kanye said, before I had it, I closed my eyes and imagined it.
you say that? Yeah.
He said, yeah, he says that in a song. Okay, this has been so like amazing. Like I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you for sharing so much. I really, really appreciate it.
The opportunity to share, because I feel like I've really taken a step back on my Instagram as far as like talking about these things. And I feel refreshed to just be able to like, bleh, like blurt it all out. Like it feels good to talk about it.
But get it out here, sis. Okay, so we do have three questions that I ask all of our guests. You answer the first one, which is your superpower.
Yeah.
And then my second question is, what's the shit that like no one told you that you wish someone just did?
Two things. The first would be read the fucking fine print in your contracts.
That's very, 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 very important. Okay.
The second one would be never color your hair.
What? Why?
You have known me for 8 years. By color, I mean don't bleach your hair. I have been through so much with my hair. Like I destroyed it. I bleached it. I went blonde. I went black. I went brunette. I went back to blonde. And then now I'm back to like finally the healthy hair I had in high school. And like it took me so long to get here. So if I could have known what my trajectory me of this like frizzled blonde hair, I would have been like, don't color your hair.
All right. I mean, this is really good advice. I haven't colored my hair in forever, so I feel you on that.
But
And then my last question is, what would be the song to your life? And it could be multiple or just like what you're feeling now or, you
well,
know.
the song that I'm most like known for loving, like when it's my birthday, like my friends put the song on, is Kill the Lights by DJ Cassidy.
Okay.
Kind of like feel good, let loose song.
All
Um,
right.
Freedom by Kygo is also like, that was like my song of the summer that I always danced to, that like lifted me up during the pandemic. So I would say those two.
All right. Well, I'll play it after this and send you a video of me dancing. I can't wait to see you again. And again, thanks so much for opening up and for sharing so much of what you're going through. And I hope that people continue to watch you develop and grow and share your truth.
Thank you. I love you so much.
You too. Have a good day.